chaos constantly in this house. Okay. I never know how to do these introductions. Hi, my name is Stephanie, and behind me, we are doing this 10-foot by 10-foot wallpaper install. I don't know, but that is what we are doing. We are installing peel and stick wallpaper on this 10-foot by 10-foot wall in my daughter's room. The wallpaper that she chose was wallpaper that she chose. It is bubblegum pink, it is fun, and it is cute. And I cannot wait to see it on the wall. And if you're asking if I'm doing this by myself, absolutely I am. Absolutely. So if anybody has told you that you cannot install peel and stick wallpaper by yourself, I'm here to prove that you actually can. I do it all the time. So I'm excited to give you a full tutorial on how I do that and kind of the tips and tricks that I've learned about peel and stick wallpaper over the last couple of years. Yay? Are we excited? Yeah? Okay. This is the wallpaper that we're using today. It is a very beautiful like pink tie-dye mural from Wall Blush. Does it look like I have a lot of wallpaper? Yeah, it does, because I do. Originally, we were going to wrap this wallpaper around the room, but my 7-year-old put a stop to that. She said she just wanted this one wall done, and because this is her room, we're gonna respect that and just do this one wall. This wallpaper, because it's a mural, which all Wall Blushes wallpapers are considered murals, so each panel is unique, printed to the dimensions of the height of your wall, and then for however many panels you need to complete the wall. So each time your panels are gonna be labeled, either 1 through 7, 1 through 10, however wide your wall is to complete the mural. So simply all you do to start it is you just cut the first panel and start installing that first panel. I said first panel a lot, didn't I? All right, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut this panel and do that. Perfection. So no wall is ever square. So your very first panel, especially in this style of a mural, should always be level. And like your wall, the ceiling is never straight either, so you definitely want to leave a little bit of wallpaper at the top and then just follow the laser level down as you are installing it. I don't think I've mentioned yet in this video, but I do have textured walls. I have what's called a knockdown texture, and so I have to really work the paper in with my hands. I do not use a wallpapering tool. I like to feel all of the bubbles, make sure it's getting into all of the creases of the paper. And once you get just a little bit further down on the paper, the backing definitely gets in the way. So don't be afraid to just cut that backing off and get it out of your way so you can properly install the rest of the panel. Now that we understand that the first panel has to be level, because I do all of my installs myself, as mentioned, we have to make sure that the panel stays in place and does not go crooked during the install. It's very, very important. So how do I do that when it is just me? I have painter's tape, and I rip up a bunch of pieces and I put them on my leg so I can quickly grab them as I'm lining up the panel, and I'll show you exactly what I am talking about. I promise this is super easy. All you have to do is you have to line up the pattern, and then once that pattern is lined up from eye level down to the bottom of the wall where the baseboards end, you are going to want to start putting your painter's tape on. I typically put my painter's tape anywhere between 18 to 24 inches apart because I found that if you keep them closer together, they tend to bunch up when you are installing them. So once that pattern is in place, I go to the top of the panel and I install it how you traditionally would until I get to where the painter tape begins. So we've made it to our first tape spot, and we're going to pull the backing at an angle and keep it in place as it's coming down. And we want to take the tape off now. There we go. And we can continue our install. So we'll smooth it out. And then we'll bring it down again up until we get to our next spot. It's time to take that one off. And at the end of this panel was actually an outlet. A lot of people ask me how I install around outlets without having creases or wrinkles. And the answer is I remove the outlet covers and I do not use templates because I never know how an install is going to go until it's on the wall. So what I do is I just rough cut around that outlet, and it does not have to be perfect because the outlet cover is going back on. So the most important thing is just to make sure that you can cut it clean enough where you can properly install it around the outlet without having any sort of creases or wrinkles. Okay, so this last part is the hardest part for me, to be honest with you. So I have over here just a sliver of wall, like this much. So what I have to do is I have to trim it before. I guess you don't have to, but I have to, for my style of install, trim it. And I feel like it's much easier to do it this way than any other way. So I'm going to show you how I do that really quickly, which is I get the panel all lined up and I make a template. Just like that. And then, it doesn't have to be perfect right now. And then we're going to go through and basically crease the paper. Now that we have our rough template, very rough template, we are going to make our cut on this panel. So I'm going to lay it flat and I'm going to cut it. But before I do that, I'll just show you up close, like really quick, what the crease looks like. It basically just leaves an indentation in the paper. So I can make the cut. And I don't actually cut directly on this indentation. I give myself room just in case. You never know. I know for a fact that that is not even all the way down. So you kind of have to do it that way. Much easier than fighting a large panel over here.
And now that the install is complete, I do things a little bit differently where I do not trim the top or the bottom edges of the wallpaper until all of the wallpaper is installed. So, what I do is I go back, I get a ruler and a sharp knife, and I trim along the edge to get a straight line, and it just simply peels off. The same concept that I'm doing on the top of the wall, I'm also doing along the baseboards. I think the baseboards is an easier one to do than the ceiling, especially because my wall is textured. But here we are. This is what her wallpaper looked like after everything was in place, and it just looks so freaking cute. And I hope you enjoyed this video.